What's up, everybody? Welcome to Flash E-Knowledge, the podcast, my informal talk around entrepreneurship, business, life, and everything in between. It's your host and your boy, Don Mohsin here, welcoming you to episode 7. Episode 7 is around stupid shit leaders do, and I'm seriously considering making an entire series on like a stupid shit series, because this is the second one, and I've obviously got a lot to say about this topic, so we'll see where that goes. But yeah, today is around stupid shit leaders do. And I'm going to do my best to make it nice and succinct and clean cut, even though I say that every episode, but end up talking for 20 minutes. So I'm going to do my best to get to the point today here for you guys. So I wanted to bring this up because maybe you're a leader right now. Maybe you're going to be a leader in the future. Maybe you are working with a leader that needs some work and you have the ability to make those changes or maybe help coach them. Either way, it's important to know some of the things that aren't so great, that don't really have a positive influence on yourself or other people. And that way you can learn from them and know what not to do and kind of help solve for them and avoid them. So that's the whole kind of point of doing something like this, is to learn from it and maybe make an impact in your life or someone else's life, because that's what we're all about here. So the first thing I wanted to talk about in regards to stupid shit leaders do that I've seen is the first one is being commanding and control. And that's someone who wants to take over everything. That's someone who gives you the exact plan, exact day, time, way, hands it off to you, and considers people just workhorses to get their stuff done. Now, there's nothing wrong with having a plan, but there's definitely something wrong with someone who, a leader who just kind of micromanages everything and just sucks the air out of the room, doesn't give his or her team a chance to think, to be creative, and provide the skill sets that they were hired to do and have. So avoid being command and control. You don't want to force the team and demand things from the team and micromanage the team to death, to the point where you're demotivating them, you're not influencing them in the right way, and you're just overall limiting creativity about the project, and even probably taking air and motivation out of the culture itself. Because these command and control people, they just they're not looked upon as people you want to follow into battle. They are not highly respected, and they're seen as weak, ineffectual leaders. And even though, and I say weak in the sense that, yeah, sure, maybe they're aggressive and they'll yell in your face and they'll demand you do things, but they're weak in the sense that they don't know how to earn loyalty and motivate people to get things done. And that's what real leadership is about. So don't be command and control. And if someone's doing that, stop them. No one likes micromanagers, and no one likes people demanding them to do things and controlling every aspect of it. We're all individuals, and we all want to contribute in our own way, and have those individual contributions help the team achieve their goal. So that needs to happen for all of us to feel fulfilled and feel good at work. Number 2 is something that's pretty annoying that I see quite often is leaders or managers who kind of assume being a subject matter expert is enough, or just making it to management is the end game. Like, that's it. And the reason why this is so stupid is because you may be a great subject matter expert in the project or the area, but the fact of the matter is that's not where it ends. That's not what leadership is all about. Leadership is about leading your team. It's about communicating. It's about influencing. It's about motivating. And it's about earning that loyalty. Man, I mean, it's a beautiful thing when a team is motivated and loyal to someone, and they'll follow them, into battle. That kind of leader is just, their characteristics, the way they treat their team, the dynamics of the team. It's an amazing thing to watch. And I see this very rarely. I have seen it, but I've seen it very rarely. And, unfortunately, managers, leaders, they get in these positions and they're like, oh, yeah, sweet. I'm an expert in this project or this field, and that's all I need to know. I already made it to management, so I'm good. You need to keep learning. You need to take time to learn how to be a good leader. You need to take training, understand how to communicate, how to have empathy, how to listen, develop yourself as a leader. It's very rare that I've seen new leaders or even veteran leaders who are still trying to develop themselves into better leaders. They just think, oh, they made it there, so they're good. That's it. Game over. I'm done. And don't fall into this trap, and don't let other people fall into this trap as well. But unfortunately, I just see this so often. See lots and lots of people, fight. They make it to a leadership position, and then they just, it's just that's it. They stop learning. They stop trying to grow themselves because they think they've already made it. But in reality, their team is suffering, and their team will continue to suffer because they don't know jack shit about being a leader. Number 3, I actually got this from Entrepreneur.com. I looked up new. What was it? I looked up mistakes new leaders make, and one of the ones that I picked out was thinking you need to make every decision, and it kind of ties a little bit into the command and control thing I brought up earlier. But thinking you need to make every decision just shows that you don't trust your team, and you don't trust what they're bringing to the table. And what you'll do then is you'll try to own everything and every aspect of everything. And again, it's very similar. You'll take the motivation out of people. You'll suck the air out of the room, and you just show that you're weak and ineffective because you do not trust your team, and you are not allowing them to be themselves. And for example, over at my fashion company, Lasting Impression, it doesn't matter what level someone comes into my company. I always try to challenge them and give them an opportunity to earn trust and be able to take on tasks that may be a little bit challenging, and maybe they don't know every aspect of how to get it done, but that's a part of the learning process, right? A lot of strong leaders will make many leaders out of everyone in their company. And that's the whole point, is if you're a strong leader, you're going to help other people develop those leadership qualities, because it will do nothing but benefit your company and your culture, having people empowered and be mini leaders of your brand, your projects, and the culture. So what I always like to do is, no matter who's coming into my company, I give them leadership opportunities. I trust them to take on projects. I coach them along the way. And just seeing people's faces and them smiling when they're able to solve things, or maybe when they felt stuck and they didn't think they could get something done, or they thought it was way too challenging and they finally are able to do it. To me, that's what's fulfilling as a leader, and that's what's fulfilling as, a human, is watching other people grow and giving them these opportunities to grow as well. So when you have someone who thinks they need to make every decision and controls everything that way, you're not trusting your team, and you're not giving your team growth opportunities to be mini leaders themselves. So don't think you need to make every decision just because you are a leader. There's a reason you have a team. There's a reason you hired that team, and they have skill sets, thoughts, ideas, creativity that you need to leverage. And the last one I want to talk about today is leaders who can't drop their ego. Man, this shit's annoying. I'm sure you guys have seen it out there too. But it is super hella annoying when you've got a leader who, I don't know, a quotation leader. You've got someone who's in management who's got a super big ego. They can never admit when they're wrong, which is a massive flaw right there. No one will respect someone who can never admit when they're wrong. They don't back down, not because they're wrong or they're trying to prove something, but they don't back down because of their ego. Like, they just cannot admit when they're wrong, and therefore they will just keep pushing an idea or a topic just because they don't want to be, like, in their eyes, embarrassed, or they don't want to seem incorrect about something. And all this does, and everyone knows they're wrong, and all this does is it causes people to lose respect for that individual and avoid them. And that's how you quickly drop in the eyes of people and just cause chaos for no reason. And these same people, they kind of push their way through, right? the more aggressive I am, the louder I speak, the more I tower over you, you'll back down, and you'll see my way no matter what. It's just all about ego for these individuals. I personally don't know how they made it into management. I think, perhaps maybe some moron saw their aggressiveness and their ego as somehow being very strong suited and well suited for that company, and they just kind of left and ran with it, and then people maybe were too afraid to let that person go, or who knows what dumb reason that person made it up there. But they made it up there for a reason. They shouldn't be up there, and their ego basically destroys their relationships, destroys teams, destroys projects, and they are very, very difficult to work with, and people just don't respect them. They might say yes sir or yes ma'am to their face, but behind their back, people just don't want to talk to them. They don't want to deal with them. They don't respect them, and they're just completely disregarded. Unfortunately, I've seen this a lot also. People think that the more aggressive they are, the louder they are, the more this fake confidence, ego confidence, that they bring to the table. Oh yeah, I'm getting stuff done and people are listening to me, but in reality, everyone hates you. And if someone actually sat them down and told them, hey, this is how you're appearing, maybe they would do something about it. But unfortunately, many people don't. So this is your opportunity to let those kind of people listen to this podcast. Feel free to share it with them and tell them to drop their ego, because all it's doing is it's destroying teams, destroying culture, and ruining projects and ruining relationships. So those are the four things I've seen, aka stupid shit leaders do. Number 1 is being command and control. Number 2, assume being a SME or making to management is enough. Number 3 is thinking you need to make every decision. And number 4 is you can't drop that damn fake ego. So don't do these things. Learn from them. Help other people not do them as well. And, be better. Be better than you were today, and keep moving forward. And I'll leave you with my personal mantra. Remember, you got to take action to get action. So that wraps up for today's episode. I will see you guys in next week's episode. I always say see. I will talk to you guys in next week's episode. Take care. Don Mohsin out.